Hey guys, what's up? It's Bella here from Earth. I am back with a weekly video, a weekly reading. It's gonna be for today, October 9th through the 14th. And I did want to change the way that I do it, so I'm gonna be doing more of an interactive, because I've seen a lot of that, and I myself have enjoyed being part of the audience for these kinds of readings. So I wanted to try it myself because I thought that it was really fun to allow people to choose. So yeah, this is going to be the pick A, B, or C. And all right, let's get started. I'm using so many decks, so if you want to know the name of the decks, I can for sure let you know. Otherwise, just sit back and allow me to shuffle them out. I've already prayed over the cards, but wouldn't hurt to do it again, right? So I'm just asking my spirit guides, my angels, archangels that are with me all the time, help me to deliver a reading for the highest and best good for those that watch. Please help me to be a clear channel for you guys so that your advice can come through and not my own. Is that upside down? Sorry. Is that upside down? Yes. Okay. I'm confused now. Okay. That card threw me off. Yeah, I don't like reading cards that are upside down, because I feel like if it's negative or positive, I can still pick up on it with the other cards. So, how has everybody been otherwise? How has October been treating you? How has this year been treating you? For me lately, it's been like energetically, I've been all over the place. And I've been feeling like really tired, like my body feels really tired. Let me know if you guys can relate at all. Almost done, guys. All right. So now people can just focus on the 3 piles, right? Let me see if they're... 3 piles. Let me see if I can... There we go. And I will put these crystals over each one. And I'll leave it there for a minute. Just so you guys can... So what I want you to do is just to sit back and relax as much as you can. And ask your guides which one, which pile. This is A, this is B, and this is C. Which pile, which letter do I need to listen to for this week? What messages do I need to pay attention to this week? And I will leave it there for just a minute. Just listen to your heart and allow it to let the answer through. This is these crystals I got for when I do crystal Reiki healings. So these are cool. I lay them on the bodies. But this is black. This is onyx. This is a good grounding stone. It's a good grounding stone. It's a good protection stone, protection against unwanted negativity, and it helps to protect against those kinds of energies. And if they want to be invasive, it helps to protect against that. This is rose quartz. This is the love stone. So this is healing the heart and allowing the heart chakra to open. And then this is clear quartz. It's like an energy boost. And you can cater it to like anything that you want. So it's really helps all chakras, helps all, and really it's just like an energy boost towards what you want. So you can use it for pretty much anything, which I think is pretty cool. All right, so let's begin with A. I'll move these out of the way. All right, A. Let's see what we've got going on. All right. So the first card we have is the 5 of Swords. Right? You guys see that? The 5 of, sorry, not the 5 of Swords, the 5 of Hazards. And in the traditional tarot deck, this would be the 5 of Pentacles. So, the 5 of Pentacles talks about... See, I'm drawn to the 4 of Pentacles, the card before. And the 4 of Pentacles is a card where, in the traditional tarot deck, let me see if I can find it here in this deck, because I don't know why I'm being called to the 4. So in the traditional tarot deck, it's this figure, it looks like a man, and has like a robe, a cloak on. And he seems to be like isolated from the rest of the world. And all he seems to focus on is like hoarding of his possessions, his materials. He, thinks that he's stable and balanced by kind of like holding on. He's not, he's not letting go. He's not, like, he has an unhealthy attachment to his material things. And it's just an unhealthy attachment. And so much so that it's kind of like caused a distance between him and the rest of the world. But it really talks about, you know, in order for energy to be balanced, there has to be an equal inflow and outflow. But the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Hazards, which would be in, you know, this deck, you're not allowing it to flow out. Like you are, okay, here we go. That was easy to find. Yeah, you're not allowing it to flow outwards, and that's really messing you up. And it's blocking things from flowing inward. Because if you block the flow of the flow outward, you also block the flow inward. So in this card, the Four of Hazards, this guy, you know, news breaks out that there's, you know, obviously there's zombies. And so what he does is I don't know if he maybe walked across or came across like this little pantry, or he kind of filled the materials up himself, and just, he has a shotgun, he has all that he thinks that he needs right there in that room. And you see, there's even people here looking for help, and he's like, I'm not listening. Like, I've got all that I need. Bump y'all. I don't care about y'all. It's kind of like he's very just focused on himself. He's not allowing energy to flow outward. And that's with material things. So as a result of that now, you know, that can only persist for so long before you find yourself in the Five of Hazards situation. So the Five of Hazards is, you know, you've held on to something, you've held on to a material possession. It can be, it's tangible. It can be a thing, it can be money, because Pentacles is mostly about money. It can be a relationship, it can be something physical, something that you're dealing with that you can see, feel, touch, you know. But really, you're feeling the effects of not allowing there to be an energetic balance, an equal inflow and outflow. So now it's like something happened where you don't have what you used to have. You don't have what you used to have. You don't have the material that you used to have. And so now you don't feel, there's no sense of security. You feel lost. You feel, I want to say poor, but not poor in the sense of money, just poor. You don't have, let me see, not very material things, but there's no sense of satisfaction. There's no sense of fulfillment in your life. You know, maybe this is happening for a reason. But you see this woman here, she's like, she's lost everything. Now she's going through the trash cans to try to find food because she has no other, you know, now she's forced to take action when she was blocking the action from happening here. So now things happened in her life that now is forcing her to do maybe what she forcing her to be uncomfortable, forcing her to do things that she didn't want to do. She probably didn't have to, you know, she probably never imagined she'd have to pick through trash to find food, right? But it's what she has to do to survive. So it's like she's forced to do things that she doesn't want to do for her own good, for her own benefit. So the next card we have is the Three of Swords. So really, you know, this can be a relationship. But it can actually be anything that you just, any material thing that you really felt attached to. But for some, I feel like if this is a relationship, so I'm drawn to these figures here. You know, these figures here and one right here. And I have a feeling that as you're out looking for answers, your guides are near, trying to help you figure out those answers, trying to help you figure out maybe your way forward, give you clues on what steps you need to be taking. But you see, it's like this guy, this figure here is like not even paying attention at all. He's so caught up in the middle of the storm, focusing on the heartbreak, that they're not paying attention to the signs that your guides are, you know, trying to show you. For some of you, the way forward begins with healing these wounds, right? Really taking a look at the situation from a higher perspective and seeing what purpose this situation caused you. What purpose did this situation cause you? Holding on too tightly to something, and then now, you know, you've lost whatever this thing is, which I'm thinking is a relationship. It can also be a job, financial job, something that really made you feel like you've lost your sense of security, but you've lost it and you're trying to find it. You feel very alone. It's a dark period. You feel like everything's torn apart. You don't have anybody. You feel alone. You feel like you have to go tackle and handle the world alone. For some of you, there's like a third party involved. You know, maybe your partner or the person that you were with ran off with somebody else, and now that leaves you alone. For the majority, I feel like this card is saying like, hey, like, your guides are here. They're always there with you. The angels are there. The divine is there. It's all there for you so that you can get the answers that you seek. The next card that we have is trust. So I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So two things that I'm drawn to. One is obviously trust, you know. Trust, I'm drawn to the purple. So that is, you know, for me, that's the connection to the spiritual, you know, world. So like an amethyst kind of color. So trust in yourself, and that the answers that you seek and the wounds, the healing will occur. Trust that in your heart you have all the answers that you seek, and also trust in the divine. Trust in the divine that this is happening for a greater good. Next, we have the Sun card. So this talks about, you know, you've gone through this process. You've gone through this process and you've started to trust yourself, right? You don't have this person anymore. You don't have this situation, this thing that really caused you to feel secure. You've lost your sense of security and stability in the world, but here you are. Here you come back, not needing anything, You are your own star. You are your own sun. New beginnings. You know, I'm drawn to the baby, so, you know, as such, you know, there can be pregnancies, but what I'm really feeling is, you know, there's a gestation period for the baby. It takes about 9 months for a human baby, right? I'm not saying that it will take that amount of time. It can be shorter, can be longer, but there's a period before this baby, there's a period of gestation before this baby's born, right? So this is going to move you into a period of healing and connecting with your higher self in order to birth this newfound sense of security in yourself and in the world, not relying on anything else for your own security and happiness, if that makes sense. You know, really just really being a clear, I guess, a clear channel, you know, between the divine and your higher self, you know, or you and your higher self, bridging the gap, you know, being very vulnerable and clear with yourself when it comes to emotions, and knowing how to navigate your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts in order to help create the world that you want, because I feel like this sun gives life, it provides life. So there's a period of really an awakening that's going to happen where people will elevate themselves a little bit, or maybe a lot, vibrationally, energetically. And then we have, when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. So this is saying that, you know, there's always periods of letting go, learning, letting go, learning, letting go. You know, I really feel that for some that are kind of anxious, I want this to be over, I want this, you know, it's never over. Not even after you die. It's really never over for our souls. There's always more to learn, more to do. So it's really about going through the process, going through the journey, where it'll allow you to really learn what you really need to learn. And that's it for Group A. So the loss of something, but really it's going to catapult you into this new sense of this new independence, which is great. All right, Group B, what do we got here? We've got another 5. Okay. Let's see. Another 5. 5 of Cups. So this is really mourning the loss of something. And really just focusing on that thing that you've lost. I feel like I'm getting a very similar message for this group. But, okay, so the 5 of Cups, right? If you see this woman here, she's with her child. She's at a grave, presumably visiting the tomb of her husband, her late husband. And really, all she's focused on is the grief of not having this person. And she's really not aware of the outer world. She doesn't care about the outer world. Because here you see zombies that, like, one is like ready to get her and her child. She's not worried about any of that. She doesn't care. So really going through a dark, kind of like a depression almost, a really dark period in your life where you're just really sad. It takes all of your energy to get out of bed. It takes all of your energy to get in the shower and to face the things that you have to face, you know, during the day, throughout the day. And next we have the Karma card. And the Karma card is typically in the traditional tarot, it talks about let me see if I can get it from the other tarot deck. Hold on. Without taking too long. And it's a different name in the regular, the traditional tarot deck. It's called the Judgment. And so here we see people, it's like an archangel, an angelic being, kind of bringing them home, really, making people aware of the choices that they've made and why they've made it, and kind of calling the higher souls of people back home. Not like, you know, you're dying, you know, back home, but really back home in the sense of, you know, where you really come from. And then in this deck we get kind of a different meaning. You still have the figures that are, you know, having their arms out and open up, you know, seemingly like praising this moon. It's really like an eclipse actually, and it's like they are celebrating here the solar eclipse, right? And it really talks about being able to celebrate each cycle that life brings. Each cycle that life brings, right? Unplugging from the world, disconnecting from the abstract thoughts, ideas, you know, beliefs that we have, allowing things to occur. You know, it's a stark difference between here, you know, this woman's very closed off, and then here we have people just celebrating with the changes, the day-to-day changes of the sun, the moon, and not necessarily allowing their emotions to keep them stuck and allowing the negativity to fester, to permeate, you know. So the next card is envy. I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So possibly people in group B could be a little envious of others that they see that, you know, possibly have what they think, you know, what they want. However, the thing with envy is that it's all about perception, right? Because, yeah, you know, if you're mourning a relationship here and you see all of these people together in love, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know anything about anybody else. Envy is just it's based on perception, perceiving what they have, perception of what they have, perception of how they live, how they feel. Those people can look very happy and can turn out to be miserable in their relationship. Especially, I feel like social media is doing such a, good job of making people envious, because all we see is the end result. I mean, not even the end result. All we see is pretty much what they want us to see, right? And that doesn't tell us much. So let me just get one more card. So what this is about is the loss of a job, that has really had you kind of on this downward spiral, because maybe you have children that you have to provide for. Maybe, all of these nice things that you wanted, you don't see the way forward. You don't see how you can provide. Maybe for some of you, you're even, it's as drastic as you're getting ready to move because you've been evicted. And for those that you may see with that, those things that you want, you can always ask, if you see somebody. See, I'm drawn to what financial people, or even like Tony Robbins has said this, but surround yourself with the people you want to be around. So if you're envious of somebody because they seem to have a good job, a good life, instead of being envious, try to form connections with them, with people that you look up to. Surround yourself with 5 to 6 people that you admire. I feel like envy is the negative version of admire, I feel. And so instead of, like I said, being envious because they may have what you have, they have stability, they have, they can provide, they're financially free, form connections until that you become business partners. Form connections until you learn enough that you can be, at the same level as these people. The next card we have is the Magician and the Mirror. For me, this talks about really learning how to take your creative power and create this job that you've possibly lost, something better. Who is it that you are envious of? What do they have? What kind of job do they have? Is that the kind of job that you want? So I feel what this card is saying, this card is really advising you, like, hey, connect with yourself and be as specific as possible about what it is that you want, what you desire. If it's a wage per year, how much? If it's a job title, what is it? What company? And, you know, and if because I feel what this is saying is connect with others, have a group of people that you meet with regularly to help you, to elevate you so that you can learn the ropes, so that you can get what it is that these people have that you think you want, right? And if it's about manifesting, learning how to manifest it, then that's what these people need to show you. But really connect with others so that you can learn what you need to learn. And then really it's about putting it into practice, how to create or how to attract this job your way, how to attract it, how to manifest it in your life. Because the magician, you know, you see him balancing, it seems like ice or water and fire. So it's like you're balancing your yin and your yang, your feminine, your masculine. And you're learning when to receive, when to go after. You're learning when to receive, meaning receive education, and when to put it into practice in order to create this job opportunity, this dream job, this dream salary per year. And this says, true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. So really, yeah, it is about getting through, getting past the pain, getting past the grief, getting past the mourning, because there are opportunities. There are opportunities coming your way. But, you know, as I said, this person here isn't even, look how close this guy is, and she's not even aware of it. Look how close a possible, you know, opportunity is for you. But are you aware of these things, you know, that are going on? Are you aware? Heal through the pain. Heal through whatever happened. If it was a layoff, if, you know, if you've just gotten fired, if, you know, for some reason you left or the other and it caused you a lot of pain, let's heal from that. And if there are more things that you need to heal from it. That's the only way, you know, you'd really, you know, be able to be present enough to create this that you want to create. All right. I hope that helps you guys. And then the last group, group C. We've got the sun again. All right. Uh-oh. We've got the Four of Pentacles again. All right. Group C. Here we have the sun. The sun is an awesome card to have. Major energetic pull going on, things that you can't really control. But basically it talks about, you know, you've been going through, you've been fighting a war, you know, a war, a battle. You've been waging this war, you know, there's turmoil that has been inside of you due to the outside circumstances in your life, right? You've been fighting, I want to say it's just, it stems from the feeling of I'm getting like fitting in and socially accepted. So maybe you've been not socially accepted. You've been living your life afraid of I'm just receiving like a figure, right? Alone, fighting anything and everybody, really living in solitude, really, really, really being lonely, not knowing who he can trust, not knowing what he can trust, just really, really alone, really alone. Never finding a safe haven outside, with others. So maybe there's feelings of, like I said, not being accepted. And the sun, I love this card because for me, it feels like there's such a weight that's been lifted. There's, you've been down this road, you've been on this road for so long. And now the sun is here saying like, the past, the dark, it's on its way out. Like we've got the sun here. It's the dawn is breaking. You may not see it. You may not see the sun from where you are, but it's coming. It's here. You don't have to go through this battle for much longer. Because there's just a sense, feelings of relief and joy and happiness that are coming to you, where things seem to be working out and everything is going, your way. Maybe for once you feel, The key is as I said before with this card is, are you allowing it? Are you going to allow it in your life? Because the Four of Pentacles is, this man, he's sitting on a stoop, right, of a house, and he's on the Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles. He has his cloak. He's an older person, so he's kind of like set in his beliefs, right? And he's holding on to that pentacle for dear life. Like he's not letting any of them go, right? So he's holding on to his possessions because he thinks that's it. He only knows how to make it. He thinks resources and things are limited. He doesn't understand the limitless possibility. He thinks that everything that he earns, that he does, is coming from him and his energy and his resources. So he's, keeping tabs on all of his possessions. But like I said, if he's not necessarily letting the energy flow outward, how will he be able to receive when this sun is here, right? So ask yourself if that feels like that's you. If you feel that you've been feeling lonely, you've been feeling like you've been in the dark, that you have to go through this alone, that you're looking for a place of acceptance, you're solely perceiving life through a very limited scope. there's help your way, you know, that's coming your way. But, you know, hopefully you are aware enough of the help when you see it so that you can receive it. Okay. So these, okay, all right, sorry, y'all. So these two are clarifier cards. So like, as I said, you've been alone, right? You've been doing life alone for a while. You're holding on to all of your resources. You are very set in your ways. You're not aware of all of the resources that can come your way, all the power of abundance and everything like that can come your way, because you're used to, you know, like how I said before, this man, for example, if it comes to money comes by way of working for another company. I clock in 9 to 5, clock out, go home, feed my family, this and that. So he's very, you know, limited in his view, and he thinks, okay, if I'm making enough money to do this, I cannot go out and do anything else, because I need to control my money, I need to control my expenses, because, you know, 9 to 5 is all I can do. You know, for example, if his wage is $50,000 per year, that's all I can earn. You know, very set in his ways, right? And I feel like you've been alone for a while because of I'm trying to find the right words. Maybe people have let you down. Maybe people have disappointed you, hurt your feelings, and maybe people have let you down, and you maybe have a hard time maybe expressing your emotions. With this Four of Pentacles, I'm feeling, instead of it dealing with money, I feel this is saying you're very stuck in your beliefs. It should be this way, it should be that way, which would be the expectations card. It needs to be this way, this person needs to be doing this person, they needs to be doing that, or, you know, if this person loves me, he'll do this. If this person loves me, she'll do this. The correct way to deal with your parent or with your in-law or with your spouse even is this, it's not that. The correct way to deal with your coworker, your boss, is this, not that. So it's really about being stuck in your view, and really it has caused you to be alone for a while. But if you don't be careful, if you're staying with this negativity that's festered, that you haven't released, because as I said, if you block the outflow, you're also blocking the inflow. And so if you don't be careful, it's going to lead to bad health. We're all balls of energy, right? So if we keep lower vibrating energy stuck in our body, in our meridians, in our chakras, they're the reasons that there is dis-ease in our bodies. And again, it's coming from the expectations that you may have in relation to how people should be, how life should be. So I think that the overall advice is to be very careful, about how much and how long you've been keeping these negative vibes in your aura, in your energetic field. I strongly believe, with what I've learned in QHHT especially, that anger and really, 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 really negative emotions is the root cause of all of the dis-ease, especially cancer. So this is kind of just saying, like, hey, be very careful. All this negativity is only going to lead to bad health if you're not aware, if you're not aware of it. And it's coming from these expectations that there should be no expectations, because people are free. People have free will. People have the ability to choose how they want to be. And a lot of people don't express pain. They don't deal with pain the same as you or I or the next guy. A lot of people express pain in a way that hurts other people. And we just kind of have to let them be. If we have to distance ourselves, great. Figure out a way to just let them be free. Down here it says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. So again, if you set expectations up for people, right, you're only going to hurt yourself, because you're telling somebody, I feel like expectations closes people in a little box. Like, you're trying to trap them in a little box, and we're not little boxes. And not only that, we're not little boxes that people make for us, right? So this is saying, like, maybe you've had expectations and you've been let down, and now you feel like you're so alone and you're unhappy because you feel like maybe you depend on these other people, these things, these situations to make you happy. And this is saying, like, only you have the power to make yourself happy. Nothing and nobody else has that power. And once you really allow this to sink in and try to operate from this, there's a lot more doors will open. There'll be a lot more doors that will open when you didn't see any before. This adjacent possibilities card really talks about, no matter what, if you're given option A or B, never just, not to not settle, but there are so many other different options that are not visible, even if you're just given A or B. There are C through Z somewhere. You just have to find it and trust that you will be led to it. So, if you're feeling, maybe I'm looking for the way forward to, I don't know, happiness. Don't put things in a box so much. Don't stay stuck in your beliefs, because I feel like doors will be opening where you just would not have looked at all. You wouldn't have looked. You wouldn't have found it. You wouldn't have, not unless you were being guided. But you have to really kind of get out of your own way to allow yourself to be guided. And this card says, when I lean toward love, I am led. So maybe that's what should be the focus. You focus on love, happiness, freedom, so that the universe, the divine, can guide you toward the next step that you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for, how do I move forward? How do I get out of this house? How do I move out of town? How do I don't know. I don't have like a clear response for what it is that you're looking for, but trust that you will be led. Just lean to love, towards freedom. Allow yourself the freedom to be whoever you want to be, to do whatever you want to do. Allow yourself that freedom that a child allows itself, and you will get the answers. All right, guys, I hope you liked this reading. It was really fun for me to do these readings. I think depending on how these videos go, I think I'll do these from now on, or I'll do still maybe a mix of, you know, the interactive and just the regular weekly video. Let me know in the comments below if you like them. Let me know what you chose, what letter you chose, and if it resonated with you. If none of them resonated with you, don't worry. You can come back, check out, you know, next week's video. Maybe there's information here that wasn't meant for you this week. But yeah, let me know. Comment below. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this video. And I will see you guys next week. Wish you guys a week full of love and light. Bye, guys.